Christian von Koenigsegg, the brilliant mind behind the super-fast car company Koenigsegg, recently dropped a bombshell at a hush-hush gathering that left car fans buzzing. This mysterious car genius unveiled a mind-blowing new engine that's got everyone talking. And it's even making big-shot Chinese car makers sweat. The top-secret event was super exclusive, with only a handful of reporters and car experts lucky enough to get an invite. There, Christian, with his usual charm and big-picture thinking, showed off a game-changing engine he says could flip the car world upside down. He's betting it might even make electric cars a thing of the past. With this bold idea, he's not just aiming to boost his own company, he's looking to shake up the entire auto industry. Want to hear more? Hit that subscribe button before we dive deeper. This wasn't just another ho-hum car unveiling. No small upgrades or snooze-worthy tweaks here. It felt like a high-stakes mission, a daring jump into uncharted territory. Christian von Koenigsegg, the fearless car genius with a knack for big ideas, strutted onto the stage to drop a bombshell. A brand new kind of engine that mixes the eco-friendly vibes of electric cars with the raw, heart-pumping power of classic gas engines. And trust me, this was no ordinary news. It was a total revolution. He called it the Freevalve Lightspeed engine. A slick name for a slick idea Koenigsegg's team has been fine-tuning for years. Here's the cool part. Unlike old-school engines that use a chunky camshaft to handle the valves, this one uses air-powered gadgets to move them one by one. That means it can control the air and fuel like a pro, boosting power, saving gas, and cutting down on nasty exhaust. But the Lightspeed version? It's in a league of its own. Lighter, smaller, and way more powerful than any gas engine you'll find today. And get this, it's so efficient and clean, it might just leave a bunch of electric cars in the dust. Here's something wild about this new engine. It's like the Swiss Army knife of car power. Unlike regular gas engines that are picky and stick to just one type of fuel, the Lightspeed engine is a total champ. It can run on all kinds of stuff: ethanol, methanol, even eco-friendly synthetic fuels. That's a big deal because it means this engine can slash carbon emissions, especially when you pair it with green, renewable fuels. Christian von Koenigsegg says it's like a superhero bridge, helping cut down pollution while the world shifts away from dirty fossil fuels and into a cleaner future. But wait, there's more. What makes this engine really stand out isn't just its techie tricks. It's how it could shake up the electric vehicle. EV world. Electric vehicles have been the cool kids lately, zooming ahead because people want to fight climate change and ditch fossil fuels. But Koenigsegg's not sold on them being perfect. He points out some hiccups. Batteries that don't last long enough, not enough charging stations, and the messy impact of making and tossing those batteries. It's got folks wondering if EVs are really the forever fix. Enter the Lightspeed engine. It's efficient, clean, and powerful, tackling a bunch of those EV headaches without any of the usual electric car baggage. This could be a total curveball for the car industry. Koenigsegg's big reveal hints that the old-school gas engine, which some thought was ready for the junkyard, might still have some serious tricks up its sleeve. The future of driving just got a whole lot more exciting. Tons of car makers have been pouring cash into electric vehicles, EVs, and charging stations. But now they might have to hit the brakes and rethink everything. Christian von Koenigsegg's Lightspeed engine could bring back super smart gas engines that are just as green, or even greener, than EVs. That's a twist that could shake up where companies put their money and what they focus on next. During his talk, Koenigsegg didn't just geek out on tech. He made a real case for why this engine rocks. Sure, EVs are getting cheaper, but those pricey batteries and the hunt for charging spots still trip people up, especially in places that aren't super developed. The Lightspeed engine. It's a clean, efficient powerhouse that works with the gas stations we already have. So more people, everywhere, could get in on the action without breaking the bank or waiting for new tech to catch up. This could be a game changer, especially in growing markets where EVs are still a tough sell because of cost and hassle. Then came the fun part. They fired up the Lightspeed engine live. Everyone got to see it strut its stuff. Blazing speed, jaw-dropping power, and smooth moves. They even raced it against old-school gas engines and top-tier electric setups. Guess what? It smoked them. The acceleration and oomph were right up there with the wildest electric hypercars, all while sipping fuel like a champ, something you'd never expect from a gas engine a few years back. The crowd, full of doubters and car nuts alike, couldn't believe their eyes. Excitement was buzzing everywhere. But it wasn't just the engine's muscle that stole the show. Koenigsegg's big-picture plan was just as awesome. He shared his dream for the future, a lineup of slick new Koenigsegg rides powered by the Lightspeed engine, mixing that classic supercar vibe with next-level tech and eco-smarts. It's not just about fast cars, it's about driving the whole industry into a wild, sustainable new era. Christian von Koenigsegg isn't picking sides in the electric versus gas showdown. He's mixing the best of both worlds. He thinks the future of superfast cars isn't about choosing one or the other, but blending them into something awesome. Crazy speed with a green twist. It's a fresh idea that could steer the car industry down an exciting, eco-friendly road. His big reveal lit up the room and got car experts and insiders buzzing. Some think this could be a huge moment, flipping the script on the whole EVs versus gas engines debate. Others are playing it cool, saying it's a sweet idea. But it's got to jump through hoops like government rules, winning over buyers, and figuring out how to make tons of these engines. Koenigsegg's track record of wild ideas and small batch wins hints they might pull it off. But there's still a bumpy road ahead before this engine can take on EVs for real. Even with the doubts, this news has fired up car lovers who've been bummed out by the quiet rise of electric cars. For them, nothing beats the rumble of an engine, the whiff of fuel, and the pure rush of tearing down the road. The Lightspeed engine feels like a lifeline, keeping that old-school thrill alive while still being kind to the planet. With his knack for epic reveals and non-stop innovation, Koenigsegg's tapping into that vibe, painting a picture where you don't have to pick between power and being green. This announcement? It's like tossing a pebble in a pond. The ripples could spread everywhere. If the Lightspeed engine lives up to the hype, it could kick off a whole new wave of cool ideas in the car world. Other companies might start hunting for fresh ways to go green that don't just mean electric vehicles, EVs. It could even shake up the rules. Governments might rethink their big push for EVs and consider a mix of options like super smart gas engines, hydrogen-powered rides, or other neat tricks to cut down on pollution. For Koenigsegg, this is a make-or-break moment. They're famous for bending the rules of what cars can do, and nailing the Lightspeed engine could keep them as the kings of cutting-edge car tech. Christian von Koenigsegg's rock-solid faith in his big idea, and his guts to shake things up, has set the stage for what might be one of the wildest tech showdowns cars have ever seen. We don't know who'll win yet, but one thing's for sure: the car game's changed forever. His bold move at the event didn't just shock car fans, it sparked a huge chat about where transportation's headed. With the Lightspeed engine stealing the spotlight, Koenigsegg and his crew have crashed into a scene everyone thought was locked into going all electric. But this isn't just about a fancy engine's specs. It's the start of a bigger story. We're talking about how the market works, what drivers want, new rules, and wild inventions. To really get why this matters, you've got to zoom out and see the whole crazy shift the car world's been going through for the last 10 years. Everyone's talking about saving the planet, tougher eco rules, and better batteries. Big names like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid have been leading the charge, shouting from the rooftops that electric vehicles, EVs, are the future. Even the old-school giants, Volkswagen, Ford, and General Motors, have jumped on board, pouring tons of cash into batteries and EV projects. So when Christian von Koenigsegg rolled up with his light-speed engine, it felt like he was swimming against the tide. But that's exactly why it's such a big deal. His bold move could flip the script. Koenigsegg isn't just flexing for his fancy car crew. He's throwing a curveball at the whole car industry. He's saying, hey, gas engines don't have to fade away. They might even outshine EVs in stuff like efficiency, clean air, and that awesome driving vibe. In a world obsessed with plugging in, that's a pretty wild idea. What's driving his pitch? Choice. He wants to give people a ride that's green and thrilling. No need to pick one or the other. That hits home big time with car lovers who live for the roar of an engine and that hands-on feel of a real machine. And here's the kicker. The light-speed engine isn't just for Koenigsegg's super-rich fans. If it really delivers low pollution, great gas mileage, and top-notch power, it could pop up in all kinds of rides. Think zippy little cars, family SUVs, tough trucks, and more. This could be a game-changer for way more than just the supercar crowd. Imagine this. The light-speed engine could power way more than just fancy sports cars. It might even work for big rigs and delivery trucks. That's right. This tech could stretch across all kinds of vehicles, shaking up the plans of car makers who've been all in on electric vehicles, EVs. Take commercial trucks, for example. They've been slow to go electric because heavy batteries, short ranges, and spotty charging spots just don't cut it. But the light-speed engine, it's light, small, can sip different fuels, and keeps going strong. That could be a total win for trucks that need to haul big loads over long distances without stopping. If this catches on, it could totally change how we move stuff around. Think faster delivery vans, better buses, even emergency vehicles that refuel in a flash and stay ready for action. Plus, Koenigsegg's big reveal hinted at something even wilder. This engine might shake up the whole energy game worldwide. Everyone's racing to grab battery metals like lithium and cobalt for EVs, but mining that stuff is rough on the planet and mostly happens in just a few places, sparking new fights over who gets what. The light-speed engine, though, can run on biofuels or synthetic stuff, easing the scramble for rare metals and giving us more options to keep things running smoothly. So, can Koenigsegg pull this off and bring it to everyone? They've always made super expensive cars for a tiny crowd, so making the light-speed engine a everyday thing is a huge leap. It'd need big changes, teaming up with other car makers, rethinking how they build stuff, and setting up new supply lines. But Christian von Koenigsegg's no stranger to tough challenges. His team's already wowed us with crazy inventions like super light carbon frames and engines that break all the rules. And who knows? Maybe other companies will want in, licensing this tech to spread it far and wide. This could be the start of something massive. Christian von Koenigsegg could team up with other car makers, kind of like how Toyota shared its hybrid tricks or Tesla let everyone peek at its electric vehicle EV playbook. By partnering up, He could borrow their know-how and huge networks to get the Lightspeed engine into tons of cars, not just the rare, pricey ones Koenigsegg usually makes. That could spread this awesome tech way faster and farther. Plus, here's a fun twist. Car fans and gearheads might go nuts for this. The Lightspeed engine's flexible design means it could be popped into older cars, giving classic rides a modern, eco-friendly boost. Imagine souping up your favorite vintage car with a power-packed engine that's clean and crazy efficient. It's like keeping the heart of your ride alive while making it greener and faster. That could spark a whole new wave of excitement for the tuning crowd. And it's not just for car buffs. In places around the world where EV stuff, like power grids, charging spots, and repair shops, is still a work in progress, this engine could be a game changer. Instead of needing a total overhaul to go electric, these areas could use the Lightspeed engine to get cleaner rides without the big bucks or big weight. It's a way to bring planet-friendly driving to more people, not just the rich countries, but growing ones too. Not everyone's sold, though. Some folks think Koenigsegg's big idea might not shake things up as much as he hopes. EVs are already on a roll. Batteries are getting better, charging's getting quicker, and governments everywhere are all about that zero-emission life. They're rolling out tough rules, tossing cash at EV buyers, and building charging stations like crazy. So, the Lightspeed engine's got some stiff competition to beat. Getting the Lightspeed engine accepted in today's world won't be a cakewalk. Governments are all about electric vehicles, EVs, with strict rules and big plans to cut pollution fast. Convincing them to give a fancy gas engine like this a chance? That's a tough sell. Plus, some eco-warriors aren't thrilled. They worry it might slow down the rush to totally clean energy, even if the Lightspeed is way less dirty than old-school engines. It still burns fuel and spits out some pollutants, even if it's just a little. There's also a fear that hyping up something other than EVs might make people less fired up about fighting climate change. For Koenigsegg's engine to win everyone over, it's got to prove, big time, that it's just as green or greener than EVs from start to finish. It sounds awesome on paper, but the real test is how it works out there in the wild. Everyone's got their eyes peeled as Koenigsegg starts putting this engine into its next batch of cars. They're playing it coy about when we'll see it roll out, but Christian von Koenigsegg dropped a hint. It's closer than we think. That mysterious vibe? Totally his style, keeping us all guessing and hooked. And here's a cool bonus. This bold move might light a fire under other ideas, like hydrogen engines or hybrids that mix batteries with super-smart gas power. Koenigsegg's basically daring the car world to think bigger. Not just bet everything on EVs, but try all kinds of wild new stuff. This could kick off a fun, messy explosion of ideas where different techs duke it out to see what's best. It's not just about the gadgets, it's about the heart of car culture. For over 100 years, the growl of a gas engine has meant freedom, adventure, and pure joy on the open road. It's more than just a machine. It's a feeling. History shows that it's often the underdogs, the ones who shake things up, who deliver the biggest breakthroughs. Koenigsegg isn't a giant like Tesla or Volkswagen, but that's their strength. They're bold enough to question the all-electric hype. They've always been about pushing the boundaries, and every car they've built proves it. But this time, they're going even further, signaling that maybe the car world was too quick to abandon the gas engine, or at least that the road to a cleaner planet has more twists and turns than we thought. This could have huge implications. Major car makers have been completely focused on electric vehicles, EVs, spending billions of dollars on batteries, charging stations and factories to say goodbye to the gas engine forever. Koenigsegg's Lightspeed engine is like a curveball. one that challenges the EV or bust mentality and shakes up the game plan. It's a crazy bet that could change the way we look at the future of driving. Christian von Koenigsegg's gutsy move is making big car companies sweat. His light-speed engine, super efficient and able to run on all kinds of fuels, might just outshine electric vehicles, EVs, or at least team up with them. It's got everyone wondering, could this shake up who's on top in the car world? For a company like Toyota, which has stuck to its guns with hybrids while others went full-on electric, this feels like a high five. Toyota's been saying forever that mixing things up, hybrids, plug-ins, hydrogen cars, is the smart way to cut pollution. The light-speed engine fits that vibe perfectly, hinting there's more than one way to clean up transportation. This could also be a loud wake-up call for governments and rule makers. Right now, they're all about EVs, often ignoring other cool ideas. If Koenigsegg's engine is as green and awesome as he says, they might have to rethink things. Maybe it's time for rules that cheer on all kinds of clever fixes, not just EVs. That could open doors for companies who haven't bet everything on batteries, shaking up the market in a big way. But changing the rules? That's tricky. Electric vehicles have a ton of hype. People love them, and the planet needs help fast. For Koenigsegg's dream to take off, he's got to do more than just show it works. He'll need to rally a whole crew, fuel makers, road builders, eco-groups, you name it, to back him up. It's going to take teamwork to make the light-speed engine a real player worldwide. Christian von Koenigsegg faces some big challenges to make the light-speed engine a reality. Building tons of these super special engines with fancy Freevalve tech and the ability to run on different fuels isn't easy. It'll take lots of testing to make sure they're tough, reliable, and work great no matter what. Whether this engine stays a cool side project or shakes up the whole car world depends on Koenigsegg nailing these hurdles. The car industry would have to shift too. Parts makers, mechanics, and gas stations would all need to get on board. Mechanics might need new training to fix these high-tech engines, and fuel stations could have to stock different kinds of fuel, which means big changes and some serious cash. This one idea could shake up everyone from car builders to the folks who keep the industry running. But if Koenigsegg pulls it off, the payoff could be huge. The light-speed engine could be the perfect middle ground in the electric versus gas debate. Green enough to help the planet, but still packing that thrilling punch car lovers crave. For people in places where driving is a big part of life, this could be a total game changer. It keeps the heart of what makes cars awesome, like the roar of an engine and that road-hugging feel, while being kinder to the environment. Electric cars are slick and strong, but they often miss that raw connection drivers love. The sound, the rumble, the gears. The light-speed engine brings a fresh twist to the classic gas experience, which could win over folks who feel left out by the electric takeover. It's not just about tech, it's about keeping the driving vibe alive. What's next for gas engines if the light-speed engine works out? Could it spark a comeback with super-efficient, multi-fuel designs? Might it even make us rethink electric vehicles, EVs, mixing them with hybrids that nail performance, efficiency, and price? Most importantly, will people buy into a new kind of gas engine that promises the best of both worlds? What folks think will make or break this big idea? Lately, EVs have been the crowd favorite, but Koenigsegg's betting there's still a bunch of drivers who crave that classic engine roar, as long as it's green too. If he's right, the car market could shift big time, moving away from an all-EV obsession to a mix of cool ideas. Cars aren't just about getting around. They're icons of freedom and personality. In places like the US, where driving screams adventure, or Germany, where car making is a badge of honor, a fresh take on eco-friendly engines could hit just the right note. What do you think? Can Koenigsegg's engine outshine EVs? Drop your thoughts below and let's chat.